All right, so we are at the Dallas Card Show, and I don't get to go to as many of these shows as I like anymore, but Dallas is a couple different things going on, meeting some friends here to go to the Cowboys game, meeting up with one of my employees, and the card show. So my game plan, once again, you guys probably see my other videos, my game plan, what I actually do, two totally different things. But my game plan is I'm looking to get into baseball, honestly, just black and white, looking to get into more prospects, baseball. I think there's a lot of upside because the market took a huge shit in June with a lot of the baseball stuff, so I feel like it's very low. And also I have a bunch of basketball and football ready to go. I have a little bit left of football, some Zion that I might move, I might not. There's still another month to go to the season, but the NFL season kicked off yesterday, so it's really time to move my NFL stuff. That's my plan. I might hold a Lamar Jackson or two or a Kyler Murray or two because I think it's really cheap. Maybe wait for them to have a couple good games. That's my game plan, but we'll see what happens. What up? And these are some of the deals I made, so I'll go over them in detail and explain why I made each one, kind of what's involved with the card and such. So this is a 2016 Bowman Chrome Fernando Tatis auto. So for those of you guys that follow baseball, Fernando Tatis just got suspended for, I believe, this could be wrong, 80 games for steroid usage. So his stuff just plummeted. Like, this was a $1,500 card like over a month ago, and now it's like $800-900. So it's probably about a $900 card. The guy gave it to me for $600. Really black and white. I think, you know, he's a phenomenal player. People forget, right? Let's be honest, in sports, when a player makes a mistake or they forget as soon as the player starts playing well. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but when he comes back and starts performing exceptionally well, or he just starts to come back and I can sell it right before he comes back, there'll be a lot of hype. So I'm buying some with Tatis. That was kind of my thought process with this, and also it was just cheap too. So that's one deal. Another deal is this 2020 Anthony Edwards Orange Prism PSA 5. Very bad grade. It's in very bad condition. The corner on the back, you won't be able to see it, is very banged up. Now, this is not something I got here. I paid $1,400 for this way back in like 3 to 4 months ago. It was just sitting there for buy it now at $1,400. And PSA 9s, so a 9 was about 3 to 4 grand, and I was sitting there on my bed like looking, I was like, is this actually $1,400 just sitting here? So I was like, okay, so I bought it. And I got a little bit lucky. Edwards went up as well. I got an offer of $3,000 at the show. I said no. I think it's like $4,000, but maybe I'll sell it to him. We'll see. But that's why I bought this, and that was an offer I got, but did not accept it. So this is a 2019 Cracked Ice Shaquille O'Neal auto. This is not something I would usually buy, but the reason I actually bought this is because one of my employees, who's one of our coaches for our students, said to me, hey, look out for some Shaquille O'Neal autos, and I thought this was sick. So I looked at it, I called him, he said it's not a card for him, but he started talking with the guy and he's like, I'll give it to you for $850, and the last one did $850. And I don't know if you guys can see, but there's all 9.5 subgrades except it has 8.5 edges. And I was looking at the edges and they don't look all too bad. So I was gonna send it to PSA, and if it gets a 10, 50-50 shot, but if it does, it's easy, 2,500, all day, something like this. So that was my thought process behind buying this, but it's funny because I never would have bought it unless my coach told me, hey, look for this. This was actually the last purchase I made of the card show. This is just very black and white. I'm not the biggest Morant guy right now, but this stuff's gonna appreciate as we go. And the last one did $9,700. I paid $8,600. I actually flipped a coin for $8,600 or $8,700. I won. It's a 2019 Prism Ja Morant Blue, number to 199. Yeah, it just auctioned for $97. He gave it to me for $86. I was like, you know what? It's the end of the show. I had like 60, 70 grand on me. Might as well put it into something that's gonna appreciate rather than the money just sitting in your bank account, right? This is another one I bought. So this is another Anthony Edwards Orange. And so that PSA 5 I just showed you right here. So these are actually the same exact card, except this is graded at 9.5, this is graded at PSA 5, big difference. So I paid $1,400 for this, or 14 or 16, I forget, $1,400. And this, I paid the guy 10.5 grand. I think this is a pretty good deal. My thought process behind buying this Orange Prism Anthony Edwards is not really going to flip it right away. I do have an offer for 11 grand. I mean, I don't really want to spend 10.5 grand to make $500. I want to put this into a trade piece. I'm looking for Bowman Chrome baseball. So I think I can get like $13,000 to $14,000 in trade. We'll see. It's only going to go up as the season creeps up. But yeah, that was my thought process behind that. And this was another deal I made. This was probably the one I was the most excited about. So I paid $10,000 for these 3 cards. So this is a 2019 Bowman Chrome PSA 10 Blue Marco Luciano. It's probably worth about 3 grand, maybe about 2,800 to 3 grand. This is something that's gonna appreciate as we go into spring training and go into the next baseball season. Baseball's very cheap right now. And Marco Luciano was hurt, so his stuff is down, and he should be called up to the San Francisco Giants next year. And San Francisco has a massive fan base. You know, it's a very storied ball club. So, you know, I think I'll get like 4 to 5 if I hold it to the right time. Could be wrong, but that's why I wanted this in the deal. The last sale did $4,300, but Wander Franco, once again, another guy that's just so cheap. He's just so on the down. You can see my method here, right? I buy guys at their absolute lowest, and at the lowest point of the year, lowest point in their careers usually, and I go to flip it when the time's right. That's kind of one of my methods to making money with sports cards. But Wander Franco, yeah, he's just so cheap. He was hurt. Can't go wrong with this. This is like an $8,000 card all day. I'm into it for like 4-ish. So like, you know, right now these values are like, you know, 3 and 4, that's like 7K. And this is another interesting card. So this is Josh Giddey, completely away from baseball. So these were all 3 in the same deal, but this one probably has the most upside in terms of just quickest money. The way I valued this is there were no comps. The dealer told me there was a comp of 4,500, but there were no recent comps. And I looked at, there was a comp of Jonathan Kuminga for the same exact card. It's a 2021 Premium Gold Contenders Josh Giddey. So it recently came out like 3 to 4 months ago. And Kuminga, or Giddey, sells for about 50% more than Jonathan Kuminga. So, you know, I said to myself, it's easy, 4,500. But there's massive upside because what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna crack it out of the case. I don't know if you can see, but it has all 9.5s and an 8.5 surface. And I was looking at the surface and I couldn't find what was wrong with it. I was looking for dimples because these cards have dimples a lot of the time, but this card did not have any. So I said, you know what? Let me take a crack. Even if it has a 50-50 shot at a PSA 10, a PSA 10 of this card will bring 10 grand, probably more. So that's my thought process with these. So like, you know, it was a great deal because these two are just stashing away. I think I'll make 50% on them in the coming 3 to 4 months, maybe a little bit longer. And this is just something I think I can flip in the next month. If things go well and it gets a PSA 10, I think I can make like 5 to 6 grand. Then if it gets a 9, I'll break even, move on, and make my money with these. So that was the deal I was the most excited for. And then I sold 2 cards. So one card I sold, and I'll have them on me obviously, was a Justin Fields Select Gold jersey number, PSA 9. So I was into this card like 4 to 5 months ago for like 8 to 9 grand, and the guy offered me $14,500 in cash in trade. It was a $5,500 card and 9,000 cash, and I accepted it. I thought it was a pretty good offer. I think I gave him a decent deal. I think he could make a couple of grand on it. So that was one deal I made. And then another deal I made is not really a deal, but it is a deal, is with Alt. So for those of you guys that don't know what Alt is, they're a company that basically will auction your cards, but they'll give you a nice cash advance beforehand. And I gave them about $40,000 in cards. They gave me about a $27,000 to $28,000 cash advance, and I was into those cards for like 27 to 28. It's all stuff that's appreciated. Football, moving into the season, I bought it months ago at other card shows and such. So it was overall a very solid show. Can't complain with the money I made, can't complain with the money I spent. Overall, I probably spent about $40,000, could be a little off there. And I sold about, between Alt and that Justin Herbert, like 55,000. So overall, very solid, very pleased, not bad for like, you know, 8, 9, 10 hours of work. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed.
When was that? This man showed me a sealed card. Come on, man.
No, that comes a while ago.
He's trying to, that comes from 2017. That comes from 2017, 5 years ago? He's trying to get me.
I thought it was 2021.
He's trying to get me. He's trying to get me.
He's testing you.
He's testing me, and I'm on my P's and Q's. I always dot my I's and cross my T's.